Shabbat Shalom. Thanks. I pay them. Thank you, children. Have you ever seen the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Yes. Now, I'm not talking about the Johnny Depp version that came out 10 years ago. His hair was weird, it was very distracting. Not that one. I mean like the 1970s, whatever, version with Gene Wilder. Yes, I love that movie. It's got great music, and I don't like musicals. So the fact that I like the music in that movie is very unusual. It's got candy, which I loved that part when I was a kid. I still love it now, because I still love candy. It's got a great ending. And I feel like maybe everyone here has seen it, but there's like a 0.3% who have not seen it, so I don't want to like spoil it and get a bunch of angry emails. You ruined Willy Wonka for me. But at the very end, there's a kid, he's talking to Willy Wonka, who owns this chocolate empire, all these factories, and it's a happy ending. He sort of wins. But there's a line, there's a little exchange that Willy Wonka, the factory owner, and Charlie Bucket, the kid, they have this exchange at the very end. It struck me as odd when I was a kid and I saw it. It still strikes me as odd now. Willy Wonka says to this kid, "Don't forget about the man who got everything he ever wanted." And Charlie says, "Whoa, well, what happened to him?" And Willy Wonka says, "He lived happily ever after." It's a weird kind of thought. And you know he means it. He's being very sincere, Willy Wonka is. Gene Wilder has this little smile, and he means it. It's a nice thing to say. But it's a weird idea to us. What happens to the person who gets everything that they ever wanted? They're happy. It shouldn't be weird, right? We want things, we strive for things, we try hard for things that we want to happen. Have you ever applied for a job you didn't want? You ever study for a test and you're like, "Oh, I hope I fail this test." You don't ask somebody out and go, "Gosh, I hope they say no." Doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? No, you try for things because you do want them. You want to succeed. What kind of a crazy person is scared of getting what they want? What kind of a person has a fear of success? I think a lot of people fear success. I think a lot of people fear being successful, actually. And that fear weighs on us. Success is much more complicated, much more complex than failure. Failure is easy. Either you tried and you failed, or you didn't try and you failed. Fine, but success has a lot of layers to it. A lot goes into success. I think there's a certain comfort in complacency. You know what your life looks like right now, right? Like you might not be happy with your job, with your grades, with the team that you're on, you might not be happy, but you know it. It's comfortable. And so sometimes we ask ourselves, well, what if I actually got that job? What if I actually made that team? What would my life look like? I don't know. And there's a fear of that. I've never been there before. I don't know what that's like. There could be there's new pressures and new things to worry about. What if I can't cope with them? The fear of success. And a lot of us, I think, fear that we don't deserve it. We have this idea that we don't deserve success, that we're not able to be successful, that we're not able to be happy. Again, you might think that's so crazy. Who's not able to be happy? Who thinks they don't deserve success? Have you ever heard somebody else's good news and you think to yourself, stuff like that never happens to me? Or you've been around someone else who said, "Oh, yeah, of course, she got that, but things like that never happened to me." Everyone's either been that person or knows that person, probably both. actually. Success, that winning, that getting what you want, that being happy, that's something that happens to other people. Other people get what they want. Other people are successful, but it's not me. They get the job. They get the vacation they dream about. They get the dates with the people they want. They get the grades that they want. I don't get that stuff. I'm not able to get that stuff. So our fear of success often comes from thinking that we didn't deserve it in the first place. And we tie together those ideas. They become twins. Happiness and success and glory and honor and all the good stuff with fear, that weight, that heaviness. The Hebrew language, just to be like a real grammar nerd on you for a second, it does this exact thing with this exact concept. We finished reading the book of Exodus today. Pikudei is the last parsha in this book, so we're done with Exodus. Exodus is full of this recurring theme of kavod, honor and glory and splendor and riches and all the good stuff. And kaved, meaning heavy or difficult or oppressive, weighty. We have God's kavod, God's glory, follows the people around. The entire book's God's kavod is following everyone around. Why do we have the plague? So everybody can see God's kavod, God's glory, God's splendor. With kaved, heavy, difficult. Moses describes himself in Exodus having a kaved peh, kaved lashon, I'm slow of speech. My tongue weighs down in my mouth. The kaved lev, there's stubborn hearts all throughout the book. Pharaoh makes the Israelites do kaved avodah, hard labor, heavy labor. So the Torah shows us that they've been twinned. Kaved kavod, honor, glory, with difficulty and heaviness. As if to say, the Torah is saying, look at this idea, look at this concept. These two things, they're so similar, they even sound the same, almost kavod, kaved. Almost the same word. Splendor, honor, success, kavod is what we want, and what we feel sometimes is kaved. We feel heavy, we feel weighted down, and we fear it. But it's also as if to say that it makes sense, that it's understandable to have a fear of success, that we don't think necessarily, what if I don't get the job? What if I don't get into that school? What if I don't make the team? But what if I do? What if I do and everything changes? And I don't know what that looks like, and that's scary. What if I do get the things that I want? But I don't think I can, actually, because I don't think I deserve it. I don't think I'm able to get the things that I want. I don't think I deserve it. Judaism doesn't believe that's true. Judaism says that, yeah, okay, change is going to happen. It's inevitable and it's necessary, and yeah, things are going to change, whether you're successful or not. That you're born with all sorts of talents. Of course you're able to be successful. You're born with all these abilities within you. And of course, Jewish tradition teaches you deserve success. You deserve happiness. You deserve all the things that you want. You do. That's why we tell the story. You got the two pieces of paper in your pocket, and one of those pieces of paper says, the whole world was created for your sake, because it was. Judaism doesn't want a fear of success to keep you from trying. Judaism says, yeah, we get it. Honor and success and glory are what you're going to go for, and you might be scared because they're scary things, and they're really closely related, but you have to try because you deserve success. You're able to achieve. It's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. So you should try. We just need a reminder sometimes. That's why the message at the end of Willy Wonka is so powerful. What happened to the person who got everything they ever wanted? They lived happily. And so can we. Shabbat Shalom.